Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card is who is currently thinking about you. Now before I get into the reading, I did want to explain a little bit. So as you guys know, I've wanted to bring personal readings back for a long time. I was supposed to bring them back in 2021 and I get a lot of emails a lot asking when I'm going to bring them back. Do I have a particular date? The answer is, guys, right now, no. And I want to give a little bit of an explanation as to why. Not that I feel like I need to give one, but I just want to. The reason being is, as you guys know, in 2020, I began going through a Kundalini awakening. And what happens with a Kundalini awakening is, as well as, you know, your whole life being shifted and changed and the big enlightenment periods and, you know, transmuting your shadows and all of the above, it actually brings up physical illnesses as well. And since that happened, not long after, I've been dealing with something known as PMDD. So it's a very severe form of PMS. And the reason I want to talk about it is because I know a lot of people that watch my channel as well are female, so I felt like I just wanted to mention it because not a lot of people know about this, so they could be going through it and not be aware. So what happens with PMDD is it affects your hormone cycle. So each end of the cycle for like women, what happens is it creates such an imbalance and it just affects you mentally, physically and emotionally, whether it's draining all of the emotions out of your body, or sometimes it can even trigger psychosis in some women. And physically there's so many symptoms that arise too. There's days where I just can't get out of bed, or I have the most severe migraines. Like, it gets so heavy. I don't even think me speaking about it is going to give it justice, and I don't want it to be too much information. But what happens then is me wanting to bring back personal readings and me wanting to film more for you guys and get, you know, more videos out. I'm not able to do that because my health kind of like takes over then. So I have to take 10 days away from life to just deal with these symptoms and work through these symptoms and rest. And then when it goes to the other side of the cycle, I then have to take like another like week to rest. You know what I mean? So it takes a lot out. It's like I get about 15 days out of a month where I'm able to do normal things, and I'm working on healing it. There isn't really a cure for it, but I'm working on it. But until I'm able to fully balance it to a point that it's not interfering with my work, I won't be bringing back personal readings. I would love to, but until I'm able to fully balance it and give you the best of me, I won't be bringing back personal readings until that's sorted. I feel like I've been saying for about 2 years, like, I'll be bringing them back. And I felt bad that I couldn't give an explanation, but I just didn't feel like I wanted to share that yet. But I feel like I wanted to now. So that's why the personal readings have not, you know, continued. And until I balance this, or I'm able to have more control over it, which I've been working on for at least like, what month are we in now? August. So about 8 months I've really been trying my hardest to find solutions and balance it. Some things are working more than others, but I'm trying. And I just wanted to like share that as well, because I know a lot of you guys, one of the main causes of it and these hormone imbalances is going through like a tumultuous childhood or a childhood where there was a lot of trauma. And I know a lot of you guys have shared the same experiences as me, and I know a lot of you guys are females watching this, so I wanted to like bring awareness to it as I was speaking as well for that reason. So that's the reason why I haven't got personal readings out yet. That's the reason why. And yeah, the minute I'm able to balance it and get more of a grip over it, you will see personal readings back. But it's not even like up to me mentally, because if it was up to me mentally, I'd be doing it now. It's just when I'm able to balance it. So that's the reason why, and that's the reason you'll see dips in my readings where you won't hear from me for 10 days because there's a flare up. So I wanted to just give that explanation now before I went any further. And thank you guys for being patient with me when I do need to take time out to deal with the symptoms. Like, I really do appreciate you guys a lot. And thank you guys for understanding as well. I love you guys very much. So let's get into the reading. we're taking a look at who is currently thinking about you. So pile number 1, we have the red jasper. Pile number 2, we have the citrine. Pile number 3, we have the celestite. And pile number 4, we have the amethyst. So see which crystal you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box, and I will see you guys at your timestamp. Hey Palin, welcome to your reading. So today we are taking a look at who is currently thinking about you. So you guys chose the red jasper. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we're going to move into the oracle cards. So pile number 1, please spirit guides, can you tap me into the collective of my pile number 1s, please? Tap me into the collective of my pile number 1s. Who is currently thinking of my pile number 1s? Okay, I'm going to say I don't like the energy of the person that's currently thinking about you. I'm being shown like a chess game. And it's kind of funny in a way, because I'm being shown like there's someone that may be viewing you either as competition, or it could be like an ex trying to do better than you, or a friend trying to do better than you, or prove that they're doing better with you out of their life. However, you're none the wiser that there's even a competition or a chess game being played. You're genuinely living your life. You're genuinely working on yourself, stepping into that best version of you. Like, you're genuinely doing that. They, however, almost like smile for the cameras. Honestly, I'm going to be cutthroat. That's how it's coming through. And it's not that what's going on in their life is false, but I think it's being vamped up and being made to look in a different way. So then you may hear through the grapevine of whoever this is, and we'll get to it, that they may be doing good, but it's almost being presented that way and pushed that way. And I don't even feel like it's just you that this person may be playing a chess game with. I feel like it could be other people. It's almost like I'm not just trying to convince other people, I'm trying to convince myself. I'm trying to convince myself through them. So it's someone that you would have had a connection with it before, whether it was a friendship or a relationship. And I feel like they, without you realizing it, because I'm being told you were never aware of this part of them, but they would try to get your approval or attention or your kind of like love or gratification. And that was their way of receiving their own gratification back to them. They may have looked to you as like giving you the power to kind of like praise them. Does this make sense? So it's like, I'm insecure, so my friends and my relationships, I'm going to gift them a lot. I'm going to look really good to impress them. I'm going to get these grades to impress them. But really, it's their own internal worthiness that they're looking for, and they don't know how to give it to themselves, so they're looking for it in other people. And I think I'm being strongly told to say that you may still not be aware of who this is, because I don't think you were aware that they felt this way with you, of trying to get your approval or get your attention, because I feel like there is like a bitterness of this connection no longer being like present currently. Like it has fallen away, but they're still trying to be the one that comes out on top, because that will make their ego feel better, or that will make themselves feel more confident. It's a confidence thing, and it's not even about you or anyone else. It's really about them, but it's being projected onto you, because I think that they still have an emotional tie to you, that they want to be doing better in the sense of, haha, I'm the one on top, when in actuality it's like, again, and I'm gonna say it's smile for the that's the word Spirit's using, smile for the cameras. Let's get in and see who this person is. So pile number 1, please, the red jasper pile. Who is currently thinking of my pile 1s? Oh my god, your card like ran away. So we have the 2 of Pentacles. Let me go get the card that just ran away. There was a power play in this connection. It feels more friendship than like a family member, and it could be like an ex or a relationship. Let me grab your cards. Is it really Alexi reading if the cards don't run away? I feel like this person would not want you to know for the life of them that they have been thinking about you. We have the 7 of Swords and we have the Star. One more card, please, Spirit Guides. One more card. Who is currently thinking of my pile number Wands. Who is currently thinking of my pile number 1? 3 of Swords. I just shared you made your bed, lay in it. I just shared that. You may have said that to them. You made your bed, lay in it. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so this is someone that I think their own ego, or I'm being told nonchalant behavior, got the better of them and had them fumble the bag with you, friendship or relationship wise. Take it as it resonates. I feel like I want to give you an explanation of who this is, so I'm going to take a look at like what the connection was like quickly, just so you guys can know who this person is before we read the cards and what they're really feeling and thinking about you. When you were in this person's life, they're saying if I explain it, you'll know who it is. When you're in this person's life, I feel like you both like mirrored wounds of maybe insecurity, self-worthiness, putting your worthiness in other people. You both mirrored that. And I feel like there may have been a karmic lesson for both of you to not put your worthiness in other people. And I'm being told that like they may have played like this power play to get you to like them or to get you on side, where they may have like love bomb pull away, or they may have like purposefully breadcrumbed you to keep you wanting more, to keep you there, in a way of like, not even like I'm protecting myself, it's in a way of like this admiration, this adoration that I'm getting, it boosts my ego and it makes me feel good, and I feel better when this person is in this position for me because it makes me feel better. So this is how I want this connection to be. However, on top of that, I think that, and it's coming through, that they did genuinely really like you and they liked spending time with you and they liked who you were as a person, but their ego wouldn't allow them, or their energy, the way they move through life, it wouldn't allow them to allow this to come into balance and allow them to be in that energy of receiving, because they just weren't adult enough for it yet. They weren't emotionally intelligent of it yet. And I think that this person does have selfish tendencies, because I don't even think that they were fully aware of how much they would have hurt you. And I feel like because of this, there's almost this feeling of this person's going to stay around, this person really likes me, this person's going nowhere. It honestly is coming through that way, which I know may be triggering, so apologies, but that's how it's coming through. So it's like, I'm going to breadcrumb, I'm going to do as much as what this person, as much as it takes to get this person on side. I feel like they may have verbally said that they were going to do a lot, but they're not physically done a lot. And I feel like you guys at one point were like, these breadcrumbs, they're not even nice. I don't want these breadcrumbs. I'm done. You may have told them shape up or ship out. You may have put some boundaries in. You may have just completely walked away from the situation and been like, I'm doing better. I want to do better for myself, and this is not, you know what I mean? This is not for me. You may have also been in the past in a very codependent state before you transmuted out of this, because we'll talk about your transmutation in a second. Or you could have been someone that you drew in emotionally unavailable people because you weren't emotionally available yourself yet, and I feel like you had to work through maybe fears of abandonment, or a lot of the times when we're empaths and we're connected to spirit, we'll try and fix people, we'll try and pour into people. It could have been a situation like that, but either way it was imbalanced, and I think it was imbalanced in this person's favor. But I feel like you had your head held high and stepped away, whether it was this person's like doing, or whether you were just like, I'm done, I'm off. I keep being shown someone standing up, getting away from the table, being like, this table is trash. I'm bringing all of the good foods to this table. You're bringing crumbs. I'm going to take all of my good foods and I'm going to go get another table, and I'll find someone that has good foods like that too. So this person's seen you step up and walk to another table, and I'm shocked the Empress hasn't come through, because I'm being shown it in my mind's eye. I'm being shown the Empress, like, you really worked on yourself. You really worked on the foods that you were bringing. You perfected your crafts, like chef's kiss. You really expanded your table with all these different foods. Like, you really worked on yourself, right? And this person can not only see that you're doing better, but this person can energetically feel that you're doing better. And not only that, but this person can energetically feel like your energy is no longer on them anymore. It's on yourself, or they may be thinking it's on someone else. And I think that this person may have, for them to maybe feel good, villainized you when you stepped away. So they may have been like, well, you're not a great person for stepping away from me, or you're overreacting, or you're being dramatic, or this is all your fault. You know what I mean? You should have been happy with what I was giving you. I can't believe you would ask for more, the audacity for you to ask for more. I feel like they would have maybe projected a version of you onto them to make themselves feel better. But they're still harboring that guilt, and they're feeling that guilt, and I think that's why this emotional tie is. They know that they did you wrong, so there's still an emotional tie of guilt to you, and there's still an emotional tie of like sorrow. I'm hearing the song by Drake, Redemption, and he sings redemption's on your mind when you think about me. And in that song, he kind of, I know a lot of people don't like listen to rap, but it's like in that song he kind of reflects about people that he did wrong and exes and things like that. So I'm hearing that song, so it's almost like this person may be going through a low time right now, and they're thinking back to maybe how they would have treated you, and that you're gone, and I think they're feeling very sorry for themselves. With this balanced energy now, it's like it's no longer working in their favor, but they feel like they have to keep up a front that their decision was the best decision, because there's something that they're doing in their life, whether it was a job that they chose, whether they've like moved away to another country, whether they're in a partnership with somebody else, whether they almost feel like they've backed themselves into a corner and got rid of people that genuinely had their interests at heart. And now it's like, I've got to pose and smile for the cameras and act like everything's fine because I've done this to myself. This is my own doing. I feel very lonely, or I feel very empty, or I feel like needs aren't being met, or I feel like my energy is being pulled out of me. I feel like I've reached a stalemate in my life. However, it's not just you. I feel like there's other people. This person feels like there's nowhere else to turn. There's no other path to go down. They've reached a dead end, but they're acting like they're happy in this dead end. And I feel like they're trying to decorate this dead end, you know what I mean? Decorate this table of nothingness and act like it's all, you know, perfection, when in actuality it's all like fake fruits and fake. It's all fake. It's shiny. And I feel like they're thinking about you, one, because of this guilt, but they're looking at this new beginning that you've reached, and I feel like they're almost wanting to like duplicate it or replicate it, or the energy that you're just emitting. I don't even think it's anything you're physically showing for yourself. It could be like a career. It could be that spiritually you're feeling more connected and you're in your power, or it could just be like physically you've had a glow up. And by that I mean, I don't believe anyone's ugly. I feel like people just align with themselves better and are able to be more comfortable with themselves better, and their aura just, that it's like magnetizing then because they've worked on themselves. That's undeniable for you, so they're trying to replicate it physically in their life to show that. And it's like, I'm playing chess, when really you're not even at the table playing chess. You're long gone, but they're still playing chess. It's like you've stepped away from the table and they're like, yeah, I win, and like still moving these pieces about, and you left the table a long time ago. So that's what I'm being shown for this person. It's like I'm trying to keep up appearances. That's what I'm trying to do right now. But I'm hearing, like, when I look at this Ace of Pentacles and being told like smoke and mirrors, they think that, and their view of you right now is that you are this Ace of Pentacles. You have got a lot going for you right now. They don't feel that way about themselves. This Two of Pentacles is here. So it's almost like this person definitely has more of the control and the power right now, but I'm going to like do what I do best and like just fake it till I make it sort of thing. And that's how they're feeling right now. But they almost feel robotic, repetitive, and stuck. I keep hearing, oh, well, this is all there is for me now. But it's like their own actions have caused this. And even as well, they could change their life in a second, but they almost feel like, I can't step away from this job now. I've got to keep up appearances because I said that it was going to be the best job ever. And I can't open up and say that it's not, and then it's not making me happy. You know what I mean? Or it could be that they're in a connection right now and they may have like gloated or bloated. Like, this is much better than, you know, any other relationship I've been in, but the honeymoon period is over. I feel like this person kind of lives for the honeymoon period, it feels. So it's like everything feels very still and repetitive, and they're like, oh, okay, well, this is all there is for me. I've got to keep going with this now, but I'm definitely not very happy right now. And there's a lot of cracks in the foundation, but I'm gonna like put a golden blanket over it and pretend like everything's okay, because there's people, they almost feel like you're watching them. So I don't know whether you've like viewed their story before, or you've checked up on them, or they just feel like you might, maybe for their ego, it's like, oh yeah, they're checking up on me. So they almost feel like people are watching, let's smile. That's how it feels. They do kind of feel like you may be watching, or you may hear things through the grapevine. They could be like, you could have like a mutual friend. So they may be telling a mutual friend like, yeah, everything's good, everything's fine, life's great. and that's not truly the case. And it's sad because I don't even think, I think you had love for this person, but this person created a Three of Swords within you. I feel like this person really hurt you. I don't think this person likes to admit to their wrongdoings. I don't think this person likes to take accountability. So I feel like they, with this Three of Swords, it's like, are they a Taurus? They feel like they may have a lot of fixed signs, like Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, because it's like, I'm not coming off this pedestal for anyone. Like, they may have like villainized you to people, and knowing that they've hurt you, it's like they may even be aware of it now and feeling a little bit of sorrow, but it's like, I can't unvillainize them, because then I have to admit I was in the wrong, and then I have to admit to what I did. And I don't want to do that. So I have to keep like, oh yeah, it's F this person, it's F my pal ones. When in actuality, there are emotions behind this. You know what I mean? Like, I actually know that I've messed up, and I actually do feel guilt. And they may even want to reach out and apologize, but then it's like, to do that, they'd have to unvillainize you. You may have blocked. There's this feeling like I can't even reach out to you now. I feel like I'm on this island now. I took the wrong path, and now I'm on this island. The tide's come in and I'm stuck here. That's how it feels. So there's a bit of bitterness when they're looking towards you, but then it's also inspiration of them trying to create, with what they have, this facade that they are as in power as you are, as in control of themselves as you are, as confident as you are, or living their best life like they feel you are, because they're almost projecting that you're like living la vida loca, like living the best life, and that they're not feeling like that at all. Pile number 1, who is currently thinking of my pile ones? We have the Dragon, Strength and Wisdom. Yeah, it's like the odds are in your favor, like strength and wisdom. Like, this person's leveled up, this person's grown up. Maybe this person wanted to play the field still, and they thought that you'd still be there, but now you may be in another connection, or now you just have really become wise to the situation and you're no longer there. So they're like, oh, this person's grown up. And it's not just you, there's other people. It's like, this person's grown up, this person's grown up, this person's grown up, and I am still doing this, or I'm stuck here. Or they may have mimicked what other people were doing. Like, this person got in a relationship and had a kid, this person got in a relationship, this person got a promotion, this person did this, so I've got to do all of this. So there they go, they get the relationship, maybe they've had a child, you know what I mean? Or maybe they've got engaged or got married, or maybe they've got another job. They've got all of these things that they saw other people doing to try and kind of like beat them. There's something about you and your confidence that they're trying to mimic, and then it's like, okay, I'm acting and I'm trying to do what everyone else is doing to show that I'm doing better, like this chess game that I'm doing. However, I feel stuck because I wasn't doing it for the right reasons, and my heart wasn't actually in it. It was my ego. That's where we're at. Pile number 1. Who is currently thinking of my pile ones? We have the Wizard. Use your skills to aid others. Let me just... Are we level? Yeah. Use your skills to aid others. Pile number 1. Oh, God. We have Water. Emotions are at their peak. I wouldn't say they think about you all the time, but I would say they currently have you on their mind for some reason. They may have done something that looks very show and tell right now, but it's for keeping up appearances. They may be like, oh, I've just got this, got this job, and they're not enjoying it though. You know what I mean? Or I've just done this, but it's like, I'm not enjoying it. It's like, and it's their own selves that have done this to themselves. Like, they've done this. Because a lot of the time people, like, I feel like you're someone that moves with the heart and your emotions and you honor them. This person doesn't do that. This person honors, it feels, do you know what? It's not even just a case of this person honors their ego, but it's like what, I feel like this person knows that they've needed healing. They know that they've been brokenhearted. They know that they've needed an ego boost. So it's like, who's going to give me that the most? Who's going to give me what I'm lacking the most? And I feel like it got to a point where you were like, I'm not going to keep giving you all of this if you're not giving it to me. And I feel like they've gone somewhere where it will give them that ego boost or give them their healing without them really having to do as much. That's what I'm being told. But they very quickly learn, this person, like, when you're going after someone else to fix and heal you, it's only going to last for a little while and then it's going to wear off. That's because the only person who can fix and heal you is you. You've got to be balanced within yourself. And I feel like this person's learned that, but they're stuck now, you know. We have the Gryphon, I hope I've pronounced that correct. Honor and good luck. Oh, this person's prideful. Look at the two dragons here as well. This person is prideful. Use your skills to aid others. Under the Seven of Swords as well. Are you a teacher, a counselor, a therapist, a influencer? Do you have like YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok? It could be connected to the spiritual fields with the wizard. You guys may be mystics, you may be shamans, you may be Reiki healers, you may be astrologists, numerologists, because it's something where you're helping people in that lens, and the magician is taking me there. But then it also could be you just either having like a strong influence over people or guiding people and helping people, or it could be like your people are looking up to you because of like a specific career move, or just like who you are, or knowledge that you have on a particular subject. I'm being taken to like crypto and things like that, like investing as well. I'm also being taken to cars. It could be literally anything. The only reason I went the spiritual route is because of the wizard card here. But with honor and good luck and then strength and wisdom, it does feel like there's something you're very knowledgeable of. Like, you're someone that's like respected and looked up to, and it's almost like they want to be looked at like that. They almost feel like they're not enough for you now, and now it's not in their favor, because I feel like even though you were always this, I feel like you may have like dimmed your light for this person in the past. So now you're shining your light. This person's like, I don't like this. It's making me feel insecure. Especially when I want to be this and I'm not this. I'm creating a facade that I'm this, but I'm not. Whereas this person actually is this, you know? They look for outside energies to make them, how do I explain this? They look for other people to fill up their cups and give them these ego boosts, and they look for other people to do the work for them in a way. I feel like this person's had a lot kind of like given to them, or they've been kind of like mollycoddled a little bit. And I think they were used to you almost like, it feels nurturing, like mothering them in a way, like parenting them. And I feel like wherever they are, they're either living up to parents' expectations in certain jobs or something like that, or they may be with a partner. If this was a connection, they may be with a partner that parents them, mothers them, or is in their masculine energy, given to them, like doing everything for it. It feels like that. I'm very careful when I talk about romantic like situations, but I do kind of feel like whoever they may be with, it doesn't even feel romantic. It feels it's a bit of a toxic dynamic in the sense that it's a motherly. It feels like I'm going to do everything for you. I'm going to bend over backwards for you, which is something that I feel like you may have declined or got bored of, or was just like, I'm not doing this. This isn't even balanced at all. So I just keep hearing smoke and mirrors, smoke and mirrors, smoke and mirrors. Pile number 1. Who is currently thinking of my pile ones? Final card. What do we have? Yeah, we literally have divine wisdom. They're almost looking at you as well as like a savior, and they're looking at you in a way of like you could help them out of this situation, but they don't want to come off their high horse and apologize or come to you for that guidance. I don't know whether you told them the last time you spoke, I don't want to talk to you, I'm done with you. I figured a song, go walk out the door, don't turn around now because you're not welcome anymore. I'm hearing that song, I forgot what it's called. Hearing that really, really strongly. Like, they almost feel like you really stepped into your power. And I was like, okay, this person's just done with me. This person's like above me. And I feel like you're not the only person that's done this to this person. I feel like they were looking for someone that would be okay with breadcrumbs and doing all of that for them. And I feel like they've kind of met them. I'm being told they've met their match in that way. That's what I'm being told. The past. They keep thinking back to the past. Maybe conversations you had. They keep thinking back to when they had more, in their eyes, more power over you, in the sense that they had a lot more, like I said, you were bigging up their ego, you were pouring into them, they felt like the favour was on them, now they feel like the favour is on you, sort of situation. But it's like, I'm not gonna, like, even though there's cracks in the foundation, I'm not gonna admit that, sort of thing. We have at the back of the deck the talisman, you are destined to succeed, on the other deck as well. So there's something that you're doing that they see you being really successful in, and I think it's triggering their emotions and their ego in a way. Pile number 1. So yeah, that's what I have for you. I really hope that you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey Pal 2, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at who is currently thinking about you. So you guys chose the citrine crystal. I'm going to place this up in the corner and we are going to get straight in. I'm going to start with tarot and then we're going to move into your oracle cards. So pile number 2, please spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 2s, my citrine pile. Who is currently thinking of my pile number 2s? Okay, this feels like a family member or a friend. This doesn't feel romantic. You can adapt it to it being romantic if that's what resonates for you, but this more so feels like a friend or a family member that either you're not speaking to, or there's been words said, or they may just be like from the past and they've been thinking about you. Like there's an energy of that coming through. It feels like, it almost feels like something you're doing is triggering them, pal 2. And it's not like anything you're doing on purpose. It's just it feels like, okay, it feels like a family member from like your ancestor, like lineage, like a parent, a grandparent, an auntie, uncle, something like that. And they're almost witnessing you do better than they did, or make better choices than they did, or have more power and control than they did. And it's triggering them because every time that they're seeing you do this, or make this better decision that they're viewing as a better decision, it reminds them that they, in their eyes, weren't strong enough or couldn't. So it triggers them. There may be an element of them like villainizing you, but it's also a sorrow at the same time. So we're going to get into what this is. It could be a sibling as well. Pile number 2. Who is currently thinking of my pile 2s? Who's thinking of my citrine pile, my pile 2s? Oh God, okay. We have the Knight of Pentacles. And we have the 9 of Swords. It's either someone as well that's tried to apologize to you and you were like, I don't care, I'm done. Or it's someone that wants to apologize to you but feels like you're going to be like, I'm done. Like it's someone that is genuinely showing remorse but also has a difficult time expressing or even understanding their own emotions. In their childhood, they would not have been taught how to understand their emotions. They could have self-sacrificed in their childhood, or they could have just not had to deal with their emotions. People took like accountability and all of that off them. It could be either or. So it's like they never got to really express their emotions or really understand their emotions fully. So what they're feeling almost feels a little bit discombobulated at this moment in time. And it does feel a bit confusing, but I will get into it. It'll just take me a minute to settle into the energy and get much of a message and be able to filter this. So pile number 2. Who is currently thinking of my pile 2s? Am I using these? I said yeah, but I'm going to use them upright. Which way? Okay, Tower, King of Pentacles, and we have the Knight of Swords. Okay. Okay. it's almost coming through. You know, I love Encanto. I feel like I've talked about it quite a bit on my channel. You know the grandmother in Encanto? If you don't know, there was a grandmother on Encanto, and she was scared of losing her family. She was scared of, you know, losing them. So she was really, really hard on them, you know. They all had certain gifts. She'd make them, you know, really like use those gifts to the best of their ability. They had to kind of be perfect. And she was holding on to them really tightly because she was scared to like lose them, right? This family member feels like that, but it's almost like through their own trauma, they created their own narratives of what life should be. And to a point that it's like they may have done the opposite of what they saw. So for example, they could have had like a really narcissistic parent, so they started being really, really giving to everyone around them to please the people around them, the way that, you know, that I feel like they're viewing a parent as selfish or not caring too much. So then they decided, I'm gonna give loads and I'm gonna love loads and I'm gonna pour into people loads because that's just what we do. And they would have learned it out of trauma, or they learned to not think big and be so you know, have these big expansive thoughts and go after their dreams because they were taught to, you know, stick to what they knew. It's also reminded me of the movie Coco, where their grandmother, her husband left and he was a musician, so she would not allow anybody in the family to listen to music, and that passed on for generations where no one was allowed to listen to music. They all had to work in the shoe shop. Music was not allowed to be played in the home, but Coco, the little boy, he loved music, and the reason he loved music is because his great-great-great-grandfather was a musician. So that's why he loved music so much, and none of the family are very happy about the fact that he wants to play music, and the grandmother like smashes his guitar. It's like, you're not supposed to play this. So there's a family member thinking of you right now. It's almost like it's like they're referencing, they know that you are doing everything right and that you are making moves in the sense of working through shadows, alchemizing. They might not be able to understand that in their own brain, but they're aware that you are doing what's right, really. But because you're doing what's right, it's showing them where they may have betrayed themselves. They may have let their shadow take over them, and it's really triggering them. And I feel like it's caused friction between you and this particular family member. It feels like a family member. So it's like they're almost viewing you with a bitterness in a way. It is a bitterness coming through, but it's like an envy of like, how do you get to be so confident in what you say? How do you get to have, you know, more control over your life? I never got to have control over my life, so how do you get to have that? You get to feel super confident now, but I've been insecure my whole life. How do you get to do that? How do you get to dictate when you want a relationship and you have control over who comes into your life when I had to put up with so much and I'm still putting up with so much? How do you, it's like, how do you get to do that? So there's like an envy towards you, but then there's also a pride towards you, and I think it's even confusing them. It's causing a tower moment and a trigger, because it's like, oh wow, it's triggering them because they're almost looking at you like a parent that they didn't get. That's how they're looking at you, like a parent that they didn't get. They have a need for control because I feel like they would have learned in childhood, if I can get everything under control, it's like I'm in charge, and then, you know, nothing happens that's out of my control, then like nothing happens where it triggers me. So I have to have control everything has to be clean, everything has to be the way I want it to be. And I feel like you and your nature naturally are like a wildflower. You're very rebellious. It feels like you're very different, and I just feel like it's like, you're not doing what I want you to do. I don't like this. This is hurting me. And they may be taking it then as rejection or hurt, or they're defying me, they're wrong, but it's you just being you. And I feel like they still haven't let go of those grips, and I just feel like there's almost this pride, like you should be doing what I say. But then they know damn well that you're doing the right thing by being yourself, but then they don't want to admit that, because then to admit that, they would have to admit all the times that they, you know, like I said, betrayed themselves, weren't strong enough to say no to people or walk away from certain people, and I feel like they're looking at you as a trigger. And I don't think it's the healthiest relationship even for you right now, I feel, because I feel like there's this energy of you right now needing your freedom or needing to, I feel like you're breaking like generational curses, and I feel like this person may be trying to pull you back in line. And I saw a quote, and it's been circling around for a couple of years now, and it's like your own family will talk ish on you when you are breaking their generational curses. It's not for the weak. And I feel like that really applies to this situation, because it could be a sibling too, where they may have followed like a narcissistic parent, or they may have not had to fight for things the way that you have had to. They may have complied, whereas you may have said, no, not today, I'm transforming. And it's like they're almost looking at you like it's like you coming into your power is just really triggering them. That's why they're thinking of you right now, because I think that they're watching you expand, and then it's right now they're going through a process of shadow work without realizing it's shadow work, releasing without realizing it's releasing. So the more you're being yourself, the more that you're standing up for yourself, the more you're stepping into your power, it really is like making them feel like it's sticking the wound in a little bit further, and being told for you to just, I think this is their lesson. You know what I mean? I think it's their lesson. And again, it's reminding me of Encanto and Mirabelle. She didn't have a gift, so Abella was really hard on her, because she almost saw her as like messing up the family that she worked so perfectly to create. And then it's like Mirabelle really was a gift, and the gift that she was actually allowing the family to find their happiness by being able to be themselves and not being like bound to their gifts in such a harsh way. You know what I mean? She has like her sister, because her sister has the gift of being perfect. She teaches her sister to do things that aren't so perfect, and use her gifts to, like, instead of creating all these roses, she's creating like cactuses and things like that. And the strong sister who's always like lugging things around, she tells her, well, maybe you need a break, and she's like, you know, it's like Abuela looks at her as a threat, when in actuality she's helping. And she actually in the end did have a gift, because she helped the family kind of like grow beyond that, and she helped their family come back together and be more authentic and learn to live with their gifts but be true to themselves. So she actually was the gift all along. And I feel like it's that explanation. I feel like you'd really resonate with Encanto if you haven't watched it already. Like, I just feel like that's the explanation of it. I feel like this parent's almost seeing you as a trigger, or this grandparent or sibling, whatever, they're seeing you as a trigger right now. Pile 2, but you're not doing anything wrong. I know that could be triggering for you to even hear, but that's why you chose to incarnate. I feel like it's when we're being triggered, we're healing. It's showing us where there's a wound to heal. So you triggering that in them, they're becoming consciously aware of a wound, which is then in their face for them to heal. So you're doing everything right. I feel like you're a strong empath. We have the Queen, love and prosperity. Okay. Yeah, I feel like there's like a mixed match. So like there's either, for some of you guys, someone that's really loving and sweet to the point that they overgive and don't have any boundaries, and they may have taught you to do that because they didn't. So there's almost this passive aggressiveness of, well, you need to bend over backwards, you need to do everything I tell you because I had to do it. And you're finally putting, you know, your boundaries in, like, I don't want to do that, or I don't have to do that. You don't have control over me like that. Or it's the other way, where it's like, you may have like a parent or a grandparent or sibling that is really harsh and hard, and you're choosing to be more kind and good-natured and sweet, and they're like, no, that's not how it goes. Like, we don't get to do that. We don't get to be expansive with our heart. We don't do that here. And it's a mixed match of, you know, apply whatever resonates for you, but it's either way, it's triggering them. It's one specific person. It does feel more like a feminine energy, but take it as it resonates. We have the Oracle, seek wisdom and guidance from elders. I feel like you're very wise beyond your years, and I feel like even from young, you were wise beyond your years, and I feel like you may have even been triggering them from young, like as a child, just like not putting up with certain things. We have the stars, a long journey brings rewards. Yeah, I feel like you're alchemizing so that your children, your descendants don't have to deal with wounds that you've had to deal with. And it doesn't have to be so heavy. It actually happened with myself, right? And I'll tell you, obviously I grew up and one of my parents was, you know, quite narcissistic, and I never learned how to have any sense of boundaries or anything like that. So I would just people please and just give everything to everyone. That's how I learned to receive love. You know what I mean? I got to give and bend over backwards for you, and then I'm worthy, right? And without even realizing, I wasn't even conscious of it, my younger sister, I always said I would never allow anything that I saw or anything that I went through to taint her at all, right? And I would never take on any of these things that I learned from my parents. And I'm not very good at hair, right? I'm good at makeup, I'm not good at hair. My sister's really good at hair, so I always used to say to her, could you like blow dry my hair? Could you do this to my hair? And sometimes she'd say, no, I don't want to. And I wouldn't listen. I'd be like, no, please, you got to do it for me. You've got to do it for me, please. And she'd be like, oh, okay. So every time I needed like a blow dry on my hair being done, she would just do it for me. And one time I was sitting there and I was like, oh my God, I am teaching her not to have boundaries, because every time she says no, I overwrite it and get her to do it for me. And I realized that I learned that from my parents. And I remember calling her, I was like, Pal, come here. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And I explained to her, like, anytime you don't want to do something, you say no. Like, no matter how much anyone persists, you say no. I can't believe I've got you to like do this for so long when you don't want to, you know what I mean? When you don't want to do it. And she was like, oh, okay. So now I'm like, will you do my hair? She's like, no. I'm like, yes, that's good. So she's learning to have those boundaries with people. And that was me like realizing what I was messing up and what I was carrying a cycle on. So I feel like this person does that accountability and that shame that I felt, I owned it, because I was like, oh my God, I've learned this. This person doesn't want to take on that accountability or shame. Because I think that it's more deeper than just like, oh, you do my hair. It's deeper. I feel like this person doesn't want to take accountability for pains that you've had to deal with. You know what I mean? They don't want to take accountability for wounds, because I feel like in their eyes, they have a version of who was a bad guy in their life, and they don't want to be perceived as that. You know, so it's a pride thing too, especially with this King of Pentacles. It's like, I've created this narrative, I've created this way of life, it's the right way. End of, you know. We have the Black Cat, your luck will soon change. This is the thing, I feel like through then your family line, you may have all worked in jobs that didn't fulfill you because you had to work hard for money and that was it, or you overgave in connections because that was the only way that you'd receive love. Like, it was never really in your favor, whereas now you're transmuting that, so it's more balanced. And it's like this person's almost seeing the effects of that and seeing abundance come to you and seeing prosperity and all of that come to you. And it's like, they did it completely different to how I did, and they didn't listen to my advice, and they didn't do what I wanted them to do, and I'm still quite sad and miserable and not happy and content, whereas they are, and they did everything I told them not to. And it's like triggering them, like, maybe I wasn't right in this, maybe I wasn't as confident in, you know, maybe I wasn't right. And it's hard for them to really get to grips on that. And we have the Unicorn, good fortune and friendship. So I feel like this person may have, again, with good fortune, again, it's like finances, career, like, I don't think I went the right way about it because I'm miserable, but they went a completely opposite way and they're happy. Or in connections and relationships, I bent over backwards for everyone and I didn't have boundaries, and I'm miserable and people are still taking advantage of me, but this person tells me no and I don't like it. However, they're very happy and they have really good stable connections. Oh my God. And it's really triggering them. Like, it's really, really triggering them. And it's almost like I've built this tower and you're burning it down. They're almost looking at you like that, like, I built this tower up and you're building it down, but nothing would be able to crash and burn down if it wasn't stable in the beginning. They're almost looking at it in a bit like a threat, like, I built this up but you're taking it away, you know. It's like they're not honoring your life in a way and your needs because they don't know how to honor their own. They may have villainized you. You may not be speaking to this person, so they're almost like villainizing you a little bit, but at the same time there's guilt. It's such a paradox, and I think they're having a hard time trying to understand their feelings here. Pile 2. Who's thinking of my pile 2s? We have generosity. On the back of the deck, we have focus. They see you as a very, very strong individual, like a very strong individual, pal. Have I just messed that up? I think I have. Hang on. Okay, that should be fine. They see you as a very strong individual, pile. Pile number 2. A very strong individual. Like you dance to the beat of your own drum, and they keep perceiving it as a threat in a way. We have generosity here as well. It's like with the lemons on the card as well, it's like you turn the lemons into lemonade, whereas they hid their lemons underground because they were ashamed of them. It's like, oh my god, I have lemons growing and I don't like them, I'm going to bury them so no one can see. And you were like, well, I've been handed these lemons, I'm gonna juice them and make lemonade. And they're like, no, you can't do that, you need to hide these lemons. And you're like, no. And you've made lemonade, you've sold the lemonade, you made a lot of money. You know what I mean? You're very happy, you're drinking the lemonade, it's nice. And they're like, no, like they don't like it. They don't like that at all. I think that you're living out what they would have always wanted. I think fears that they hid, you're expressing them and transmuting them. I think, yeah, it's like you're almost a representative of their own shadow that they keep trying to bury down. Like, all the times their shadow side or their own emotions wanted them to stand up to people and do what they wanted to do and be selfish for once and do certain things for themselves or put in boundaries or acknowledge pains. Anytime their shadow told them to do that, they buried it. Whereas you've just lived out your shadow and gone, no, I'm going to acknowledge this. I'm going to give my inner child what I need. I'm going to listen to my shadow and nurture my shadow and love my shadow and balance it out. I'm not scared of my demons and my darkness. I'm not going to do that. So you doing that because you shared the same wounds because it was passed on generationally. So they're like, oh my God, they're actually like, I'm so scared of ghosts and they're bringing the ghost to my doorstep. No way, you know? I'm so scared of spiders and they're putting a spider in my hand. No way. Like, that's how they're looking at you. And it's something's triggering and something they're releasing right now, but they're looking at you. And it's like they want to villainize you, but they also can't villainize you because you're doing everything that they would have wanted to do in themselves. Very interesting and deep one, but that is who is thinking of you right now. I hope this resonates and I hope I gave you an idea of who this is. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey part 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at who is currently thinking about you. So you guys chose the Celestite crystal. I've already placed that up in the corner. I'm going to start with tarot and then we're going to move into the oracle cards. So let's get straight in. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3. You guys may be my water pile, but not only that, you guys may have done like, it's either your spirit guides like really protecting you, or you guys do like a ritual every morning where you surround yourself in like a white light. It almost feels like a globe around you. You know, like you see snow globes? I'm literally being shown a globe around you of protection right now. So you guys may be going through a lot of processing, a lot of information, processing a lot of, you know, download spiritual messages, or you may be transmuting energies, doing shadow work, whatever the case, whether it's you specifically doing this or whether it is your spirit guides doing this. There's this clear protective glass that's like all around you, protecting you right now, and that's what I see as I step into your energy. It feels crystallized. It feels like a clear quartz, or I would say selenite, but no, it feels like a clear quartz, like a snow quartz, you know, a crystal like that, and it's got like tints of blue in it as well. So you're very, very protected right now, and that's something that's coming through straight away, pile 3. Yeah, and I'm also being told that you guys are super clairsentient, strong empaths. You guys are able to take on a lot of energy and transmute it because you've done that in past lives. So that's coming up straight away. That I just want to reference. That's what I'm picking up when I tap into your energies. So you probably are my water pile. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3. Who's currently thinking about my pile number 3s? Who is currently thinking about my pile number 3s? So we have the 3 of Wands. Who's currently thinking of my pile number 3s, please, spirit guides? The Chariot. Who's currently thinking of my pile number 3s? who is currently thinking of my pile number 3s. So what card do we have here? We have the Ace of Wands, and I think it was the Temperance that just dropped on the floor. Let me check. Yeah, it was. We have the Temperance, and the back of the deck we have the King of Cups. Okay, so it's not actually one individual. Let me just take my, I've got like a big t-shirt on and I want to take it off because I'm really hot today. It's not just one particular person, pile 3, that's thinking about you. I think quite a few people are thinking of you, because I think quite a few people have been watching your transformation. Now, I've seen a really big theme in not just the pick of cards, like the video that I've done today, but I've seen it collectively, where a lot of people that used to give their power away, you know, really overly nurture and overgive, they've started to kind of realize their own power and give that back to themselves. I've seen that as a reoccurring theme in these videos today, and it's coming really strongly from you guys. So I feel like there's this homecoming of your energy. And who's thinking about you? It's funny, first off, I'm being told spiritually you actually have a lot of guides and a lot of souls that have had past lives with you, watching what feels a little bit like an evolution right now of you coming back to yourself. It also, do you know what, it feels like ancestors as well watching you. Okay, so I feel like, okay, this is going a bit more spiritual than I thought. There is other stuff to come, but I'm being told to give like a whole like view because I feel like you need to hear this. So I feel like you've been transmuting a lot of ancestral karma in this lifetime, and I feel like people that came before you also had in mind that they wanted to, but they might not have been able to for whatever reason, whether that's siblings, you know, grandmothers, great grandmothers. But what I'm being shown is there's people in your family line that have already passed over that weren't able to maybe stand up for themselves, put their foot down, put in boundaries, realize their own power, but it was something that they would have liked to accomplish. So they're almost watching you on the sidelines and rooting for you in a way of like their soul taking tips, watching you transmute, like, okay, I've got to do this. So that's something that I was being told you need to hear, because you're doing amazing. I'm being shown the Christiana meme, you're doing amazing, sweetie. So I'm hearing that, but then I'm also being told that this protective ball that you have around you right now is because I do feel you coming into your own and realizing your worth, you know, getting the reins over your own life, your own shadow, your own light. You doing that has had a lot of people feel a little bit envious of you, and I feel like it's people that would have benefited from you giving to them a lot, because what I'm seeing with this 3 of Wands is someone's watching you with this Ace of Wands here to transmute, pour into yourself. We have the King of Cups here. You may have been someone in the past that was very erratic emotionally, because I do feel like you guys are strong empaths and really clairsentient. So you may have felt sometimes like a jellyfish, moving right and left, just being kind of like thrown about by other people's emotions and what other people wanted from you. You guys also may have, with this King of Cups here, I feel like in the past you may have like really responded emotionally. Like if somebody hurt you, you may have like kicked off or got really upset, but you've transmuted that to the point that you're not reacting in that way anymore, and you're very in control of your emotions. I'm very aware with this Temperance card that your energy is very sacred. So I feel like you're being very selective. And not just that, I'm also being told that you're being very selective of like what you put out there and what knowledge you put out there. It's almost like maybe in the past you may have overshared, whereas now it's like little tiny trinklets you're putting out there. So whereas people may have checked up on you from the past that maybe you cut off and they were able to kind of get a handle over your life, they're actually not able to do it anymore. So they're thinking and wondering about you, and it's creating this kind of like mystique about you, which is making people think of you. There's one specific person that has been wondering about you, and it feels like someone that you would have been friends with, someone that you would have been good friends with, and I'm being told they had preconceived thoughts of where you'd go with your life, how life would go for you if they were not in your life, and they were very wrong about that. And it's like, it's a little bit of a shock to the system, and they're kind of like watching to see what you're up to. But I keep being told like you're giving them drags, like they're not able to get any information out of you. And this is someone that was quite envious of you. I feel like what I'm being shown is that you have a really strong charisma and naturally you are quite liked. And I feel like that's something that this person was quite envious of. I'll give you an explanation. Now, I don't watch Shane Dawson, but my sister used to watch Shane Dawson before all of that came out about him, right? And I used to watch some videos with her, and he had a friend called Garrett, I think his name was. And I always liked Garrett because he was like really sweet, but it would like trigger me sometimes when I'd watch the videos with my sister, because Shane, the guy that's had all those controversies, he was really like rude and would like put him down a lot. And Garrett was like really sweet and loving, and I couldn't, obviously, as I was older, I noticed the digs and things that were being made towards him, and I didn't like it. And I feel like you are like representing Garrett in that way. Like you are very liked, likable, very charismatic, and I don't feel like this person had those. They had to try to have what came effortlessly to you. So I just feel like there was just like a lot of envy there towards you. And I feel like it's reminding me as well, like Selena Quintanilla, and then she had that the woman that literally ended up taking her life, what was her name, Yolanda, and she was very like jealous. I'm not meaning to alarm anyone, it's just coming up in my head, like there's this envy there, you know what I mean? You have what I don't have, but I want it, and like I feel this envy, like there's like an energy like that coming through, and that's the main person that I think is thinking about you right now. They're trying to scout, I'm hearing the word scout, for information right now. That's something that's coming through. Not that they do anything with the information, I just feel like it's their way of, they have like some control issues, and they may have even tried to get control over you at times. So they're wanting to have control. It's not even that they want to have control over you. I feel like they're not even going to attempt to come back into your life, but they're wanting to know what you're up to and understand what you're up to. And weirdly, they put a sense of their worthiness in you. Their worthiness may have come from them thinking that they were doing better than you. Maybe they put you down when they were in your life, but it's like there's something that they're not liking, and they're trying to find information about you right now. Again, not that they're going to do anything with it. I just think it's just a level of control. You're reminding me, your old energy feels like very giving and very nurturing. And I'm not saying you're not like that anymore, but you're very aware. You're more self-aware now. You're almost coming through as someone that doesn't, like someone like Alexia, or what was I forgot her name. What was her name? The girl that everyone talks about, but she barely does anything. She has loads of haters and there's no reason for it. What's her name? She was with Future, and then she was with Diddy, and then she was with Michael B. Jordan. Lori Harvey. Like Lori Harvey and Alexia, like they don't really post much, or they don't say much, but there's like a whole like enigma around them. You're kind of coming through like that now, and I feel like you're drawing a lot of people to like be aware of you, especially people that would have benefited from your energy in the past. It's like you're very controlled now, so there's a lot of people like wondering like, what are they up to, what are they doing? But this particular person, this Three of Wands, is coming through as like an ex-friend. It feels like, could be a sibling, but it does feel like an ex-friend. But it's funny because I can't really tell you too much about what they're actually thinking, because they can't quite get a grip on what to think of you, because they're not getting the information that they'd like to get. Does that make sense? Like that's what I'm being told. Like there's like a mystery here. It's like when Beyonce never does interviews, so there's like a mystery there of like what she gets up to in her spare time. Like it's like that. That's what we have here coming from this person. And it's hard for me to pull too much because it's like they're trying, and they're putting me in the energy of them, which is like trying to draw blood from a stone, Pile number 3. Who else is thinking? I'm going to use the oracle cards actually to see who else, because I'm being told that there's quite a few people that are thinking of you. So I want to see who else that is. You may have been drawn to another pile, which could be them, but I'm going to pull oracle cards and see what else comes through. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Who else is thinking of my pile 3s? Because this person feels long gone. Who else is thinking of my pile 3s? Spirit guides. Who else is thinking of my pile 3s? We have the Knight, triumph over adversity. Who else is thinking of my pile 3s, please, spirit guides? We have the Hourglass, time is of the essence. Who else is thinking of my pile threes? Jealousy leads to downfall, Medusa. And one more card. Who else is thinking? Yeah, you have, I'm going to say it, you do have like envy, but it's, I'm literally being just shown this sphere of light. Like, you are very protected. It's almost this energy, like, not that anyone's doing work on you, but if someone was to, there's this energy from your spirit guides, like, try it. Try it. It's literally going to bounce back and it's going to come off, you know, worse on you. Don't even bother. That's how it's coming through, pal number 3. One more card, please, spirit guides. Who's thinking of my pal number 3s right now? We also have the unicorn, good fortune and friendship. So I'm going to put that there. And then the back of the deck, we have water, emotions are at their peak. Who else is thinking of my pal number 3s, please, spirit guides? Triumph over adversity. Time is of the essence. Jealousy will lead to downfall. There may be someone that you work with as well. Let's thinking of you as someone that used to work with you. It feels quite catty. Because I think that you do draw in people that sometimes feel like it's like your light casts on their shadows. I've said that saying a lot of times, but it's coming through really strong for you. Like, your light and your bright personality, or just your essence in general, it would like trigger their insecurities, and you wouldn't even really be doing anything. So I feel like you deal with that. And there's something about like a work colleague having you on their mind and thinking of you or checking up on you. Because one thing I will say about you, pal 3, is you make an impression. So I feel like you're one of those people that just stand out just because of your aura. You do feel that way. I'm not just saying it to gas you up. Like, there are people like that, and I think that's you guys. And I just think that there's like a work colleague or someone that you were in college or school with that again is feeling, it's a curiosity. Everyone's coming through with curiosity. The hourglass as well is taking me to someone that you may not be speaking to. It does feel like an ex or like a connection where there would have been a false start. They're not reaching out of, okay, I saw a quote the other day and it was like, if the people that avoid you after like they've done you wrong, it's because they're avoiding taking accountability. They're avoiding you because they know that they did you wrong. But there's someone that like almost wants to message, like has these ideas and thoughts that wants to message you and apologize, to come back into your life, but then knows that they've done you wrong and wants to like hide from that. But there's almost this fear and anxiety from them as well. Like, time's running out. Like, the more longer it goes, the more anxiety they get, and the more they feel like they can't reach out. The more time goes on, it's like, I can't reach out, even though it's coming through in their energy feel like they want to. It's a very mixed bag for you guys, to be honest with you. But the Medusa energy, jealousy leads to downfall. I do feel like it's this 3 of Wands energy. This ex-friend. They're being very blocked from being able to like tamper in your energy or connect to your energy like that. Yeah, I feel like that's you moving forward though. I feel like anyone trying to, I think even if, because I'm struggling to like really like embody energies here, and I think it's because moving forward, I would be surprised if like, I wouldn't be surprised if you went to readers and they said your energy is really hard to read. Like, I'm struggling to get into your energy because I feel like you're so protected from anyone doing any sort of work or anyone trying, you know what I mean, to pull anything from you or get information from you, especially right now. That it wouldn't shock me if you go to readers and they're like, look, I'm sorry, I really can't read for you. I'm really struggling to read for you. Like, it's really hard to get into your energy right now, because especially right now, that's where it's at. Because you are going through this transformation as well, but there's this mystique coming through that's causing a lot of people to wonder about you. I hope I'm being thorough for you. Like I said, it is hard for me to fully embody the energy, so I hope I'm being thorough enough and I am explaining correctly for you guys. It's not just one person though. Pile number 3. Who's currently thinking of my pile 3s? You are very careful who's in your circle as well. You're one of those people, especially now, where it's like, I don't trust everyone. I'm very careful with who I let in. And there's also this feeling like you don't need to know all of these things. I feel like you become very selective with the information you put out there. That's another thing coming through. We have miracles here as well. Mary miracles. There's something you've transmuted transformed from, come over. It could have just been you going on a self-love journey, a self-worth journey, you just coming into your own, you really understanding your energy, your gifts going from feeling like a curse to a blessing, like you having like a full reign over something that people thought that was keeping you down, and they were able to pull your energy. It's almost like you've pulled the thorn out. And now the water is just flowing for you, and you're able to like really embody it, and now there's nothing left for people to like overly take from you, because you're pouring that into yourself. So people are like, wow, it's a miracle, but also I'm so intrigued how they did it, what they're doing now, who they are now, because it's very evident in your energy that there's been a very big shift. So people are like almost wanting to get to know you, or come back to your life, or just see. It's almost like someone's wanting to have a conversation with you to see if you act like before. There's someone wanting to do that, and it does feel like this friend here. It's like, what would they be like now? What are they going to be like now? How would they be if I bumped into them? They may even like fantasize like, oh, if I bumped into my pal 3, like what would they be like? What would they say? Or like, how could I take control over the conversation? Like, what would I say? Like, there's a feeling of that. Because you may have in the past as well got intimidated by this person, or maybe this person would like to project that you would get intimidated by them, whereas now it's almost like they're a bit shaken in their boots, thinking like, oh my god, would they be able to intimidate me now? Like, what, what's going on here? So yeah, there's definitely that coming through with the miracle card. I just feel like you almost feel untouchable. What was the song? It was a Meghan Trainor song. I don't really listen to Meghan Trainor, but I remember this song. She either says untouchable, or unfuckwithable, something like that in one of her songs, and I just heard that quite loudly. So that's coming through as well. You almost feeling untouchable, like I can't get to you anymore. Like you're kind of coming through as this empress, and it's like it's hard to kind of grab you now. You know what I mean? Like the leeches can't leech anymore. And the leeches, that's why they're thinking about you. It's like, oh my god, what's going on? Like that's something that's coming through. We have salvation at the back of the deck. I feel like you've bounced back from something that people thought might have taken you out, or you've just like got a hold of your shadow where people were able to manipulate your energy or pull on your energy, and that's causing this enigma, and like, wow, what's, that's what's causing it. But it's definitely this ex-friend that's more in your energy. But there's a co-worker who is thinking of you. Definitely some envy here. Again, it could be like someone in your field where you're working in now that's feeling envious towards you, or it could have been like college, school, whatever. And there is also like an ex that's wanting to reach out, but then feeling stuck, like they can't. There's that too, but it's mainly this ex-friend coming through strongly for you guys. You may have been like the ones that were drawn to other piles as well. So yeah, pile 3, that is what I have for you. I hope I was able to explain that in the right way, and that it wasn't too confusing. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if I did. And if you enjoyed, I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 4, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at who is currently thinking of you. So you guys chose the amethyst crystal. I placed it up in the corner for you guys. I'm gonna start with tarot, and then we're gonna move on to your oracle cards, and we're going to be seeing who's thinking of you. So let me just move these oracles here, and let's get in. So pile number 4, please, spirit guides, can you tap me into the collective of my pile number 4? First off, I want to say Aphrodite is around you really strongly right now. Like, I know her energy, she's coming through very strongly. She's showing me doves, so you may have like statues of doves or something like that you use to honor her if you work with her, or you may be seeing doves, like images of doves, pictures of doves. It's coming through strongly because she is surrounding you right now. As well, she's helping you cleanse something out of your energy. Okay, so like I said, Aphrodite's energy is coming through strong. I don't know whether you called on her or whether you just called out to the universe for help on releasing something from your energy field, which is to do with an ex, or it could be like an ex, or just a feeling of unworthiness, or I keep hearing like, why that person and not me. I keep hearing like there's almost this feeling of being left behind by people, whether that's a parent or a ex, like, oh, you've forgotten about me and I'm still dealing with this. And there's this feeling like I'm hearing like, please help me release this, please help me release this, and then I'm just being shown this, like, it feels like silk, it's like a dusty pink energy coming around me, and then it's like a hug, it's almost like a blanket being put around me, and I think she's coming through really strong. I'm hearing Goddess Kali as well. There's this energy coming through really strong where you're being helped by a lot of energies right now to transmute something to make way for abundance to come in regards to love or maybe friendships. It does feel more love, to be honest with you guys. So she's coming through really strongly around you, and I just want to let you know that you are being looked after and you're being helped to work through this energy. She just wants me to let you know. And if you are working with other deities, because Goddess Kali has come through, it could be Goddess Isis, it could be anyone. I'm not going to go listing like a bunch of deities, but whoever, it could be them too, but it's just strong Aphrodite coming through. So pile 4, spirit guides, who is currently thinking of my pile number 4s? Who is currently... Oh God, who is currently thinking of my pile 4s? So we have the High Priestess. Who is currently thinking of my pile number 4s? We have the 10 of Swords. We have the Page of Cups. Who is currently thinking about my pile 4s? Who is currently thinking about my pile number 4s? 4 of Cups. On the back of the deck, we have the 2 of Wands. Okay, pile number 4, please, spirit guides. Who is currently thinking of my pile number 4s? So right now I'm actually being told that your life mission and your life purpose in regards to like career or to do with your spiritual pursuits is at the front line of your being right now. So you may have been going or be currently going through a very big ascension that is aligning you with a more higher version of yourself, because there's that version of you needed to usher in something or plant something or do some sort of work. Or you guys may have been transmuting energies, shadow work, and again, it's been happening because it needed to be cleared so that you could be a certain version of yourself to expand over your life purpose and your life mission. So there's been a lot of maneuvering around, there's almost this feeling of like a preparation, right? It's reminding me of like a wedding day, and you know when the wedding day's happening, you're prepping, and then the morning of the wedding day, you're like making sure the flowers are sorted, people are running around, you've got the maid of honor, like, do you know what I mean, trying to get everything sorted. And there's almost this feeling of you physically being here, coming through as this High Priestess, and then it's like spirit and your spirit guides ushering around you and making sure everything is prepped. So you may find over the next couple of months, or it's already been happening over the past couple of months, that very big random shifts, like it's like one person exits your life and all of a sudden someone comes in. You may move house really quickly, or something happens where you have to make like a sudden shift like that, like you have to shift house, or you were living with a roommate and they move out and someone new comes in. And it's because it's like there's this ushering around you right now, like we're getting this ready, we're getting this ready, we're getting this ready, we're getting this ready. And it's almost like while this is happening, anyone that could like jeopardize an energy that you are opening up to, I'm not saying stepping into, because it's already you, it's just another layer of your petals opening like a lotus flower, right? That's how it's coming through. As this is happening, there's almost like a very Spirit's showing me like a red, there's a reason I'm saying this, by the way. I don't mean to be talking and going around the bush, but they're giving me the explanation, right? I'm being shown red, you know when you see celebrities and they're on the red carpet and they have those red ropes like around the carpet, like barriers. I'm being shown that around your energy, like it's almost like there's this energy like no one can come in, not yet, it's not ready, like no one can come in yet, and no one can come back, definitely not yet. This person's energy is being filtered through, or they're expanding, they're having aha moments. This is happening. It's almost like bodyguards standing there like stay back. And I think that anyone that you've had, you know, you've worked through karmic situations with, old friends, old relationships, it's like their higher selves, of course, are in the know. So there's almost like this call in your energy being sent out right now, like, don't try and come back into my life. Don't try and maneuver my energy or cause more stress than is needed, because right now there's this bubble around you, similar to pile 3, so you may have been drawn to pile 3. There's like this bubble around you, and it's like, not right now, because it's like, remember I've said in other videos, you may have been from that pile, I don't know, but I was talking about like energy being placed in an egg. You're in an egg right now and you haven't quite hatched yet. So it's like you're almost in this egg right now waiting for, it's not even a case of waiting, it's just like you're slowly aligning and rewiring and opening up to new parts of yourself. It's like a self-discovery phase where you're learning more. It's like your Akashic records are open and you're getting a lot of downloads spiritually with this High Priestess. So it's like there's a lot of, oh my god, this actually is really sweet. Okay, so naturally people are being barricaded from like stepping back in your life. But what you've been doing, because of old connections from the past, now that this new energy is aligning, you're no longer, these people that were in your past, they no longer align with you. Ex-friends, maybe family members that you've stepped away from, relationships, they're no longer aligning with you, right? What's coming up in your energy right now is you're mourning. You're mourning those connections, which is very normal. So you're mourning, you're grieving, and you're just letting out any fragmentations that kept you in karma and karmic loops with old connections. Specifically, there's a particular relationship or just someone in particular that's coming through that you're mourning right now. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be an ex. It feels more like an ex or a family member. You're mourning this right now, but what's actually happening is energetically, I feel like this particular ex, or it's more than, it's like an ex, I'm being shown family members, I'm being shown friends. It's actually kind of like a melting pot. They're also feeling this grievance in your energy, because even though they're not spiritually aware of what's going on with you right now, they're looking at you like this 10 of Swords. They're very aware that the old version of you that they knew has transformed, is no longer there. That person that may have given a lot to them is no longer there. That person that they had those relationships with, it doesn't feel like, there's this feeling like looking at you like that's not them anymore. They've changed, they've transmuted. I can already see in their energy they're not acting the same, they're different. And the reason that they're like that is because they're better in themselves. They're not looking at it in a negative way. They can see that you're better in yourself because you're coming through very full of wisdom, very much in your energy, and they can see a very beautiful change in you. But there's also an intuitive nudge of like, we don't align anymore, and there's a grievance. So I can't particularly say it's this person, it's that person, it's that person, but there's someone that you're grieving right now that is also in ways grieving you. And I think it might be an ex or a family member. Or it could be an ex, but the wound that you have with this ex is actually interconnected to a family member. And this family member that is interconnected to is also grieving you. There's like a link between an ex and a family member, which could be like an ex-girlfriend and a mother, an ex-boyfriend and a father, whatever. There's a link, and both energies are grieving you the way that you're grieving them, because it's like a thread from you to them, and it's being cut and transmuted so that you can move on and open up to new energies. You'll still be connected on a soul level, you'll still be soulmates, but your journey in this life currently, until they would decide to align with where you're at right now, it's not going to be there. Does this make sense? I hope I'm making sense to you, because it's quite hard to put this into words because it's just being downloaded. Because your spirit guides are coming through really strong for me to pass on the information instead of me getting into your energy and all of that, because I feel like right now there's just like a lot going on. It's almost like your spirit guides are at the front door. I can hear moving in the house. You know what I mean? Everything's being moved around and they're like passing on the information. Right now this is happening and I'm going to tell you. So they're almost like talking to me at the front door sort of thing. So I'm not sitting in your energy like I normally would. Which is very strong confirmation that no one, absolutely no one, can start pulling on your energy, tugging on your energy right now. You're at a very sacred stop on your spiritual journey right now and on your journey in life, and there's a lot being prepared. Now this person, because I'm going to take to the X, because it's the X coming through with the Page of Cups, there's a lot going on in their mind, like okay, when I feel ready I could reach out, and they're thinking of all these things that they could say to you, but with the Four of Cups, they almost feel like, because they're seeing you as this High Priestess, they feel like you would not be interested in anything they had to say. It's like, they've got this newness, this new energy. You may be in a different career, you may be looking different, talking different, and it's like, I haven't really changed that much, so I don't really know what to bring them, or I don't know what would really I'm hearing the one that got away by Katy Perry. It's like, I don't know what they'd even like anymore. I don't even know how to come in anymore. That person, that connection that I had is gone. They may even be noticing as well, because I feel like this person's quite aware of like friends you have around you and people that you have around you, and they may be noticing like, this person isn't around the same friends anymore. Like, there's really been a shift, or this person isn't even living. You may have moved away or moved far away. So it's like, this person isn't even living in the same space anymore. I wouldn't even know to go knock on their door because I don't even know where they live. Or you may be in another connection and they're mourning that. I don't feel like you are, but you feel very, not isolated in the sense of like, everyone stay away, but just like, right now I know it's not the time. There's a lot of shifts going on. So there's a lot of like, it's almost like they're watching you like fly away, and then there's like this grievance, if that makes sense, of like, oh my god, they're really gone. I never thought that they'd be out of my grasp. Like, I never thought that I'd have to let go. And it's the same grievance that you're feeling. So I do feel like I want to say that it is mutual. I wouldn't be telling you anything you wouldn't want to hear. Especially with stuff like this, I'll tell you straight, it is a mutual grievance. But you're choosing to really feel it to the point that it's going to be completely transmuted and then you'll move on. Whereas they're aware of it, but it's like they're not wanting to like let go of it, if that makes sense, because they're not fully embodying the emotion as deep as you, because it's like they don't like to make themselves uncomfortable emotionally. They don't like to do healing like that and shadow work, I don't think. And neither does this parent, who is also, I feel, grieving you right now. There's a parent coming through with the same energy, because they're taking me to the parent now, and it's more so guilt from them though. It's like guilt eating them up. I've messed up. It will never go, like I keep hearing it won't go back to normal. I feel like I want to cry. It's really emotional. It's like, I've messed up. We're not gonna get that back. Like, and it's sad, but I'm like hearing that, or I know what I've like done. I feel this grievance. I wasn't the best, and there's like a grievance there towards you as well. That's coming through, and I feel like the door may still be open for this parent to still be in your life in ways. But it's almost like they're not taking the initiative to heal these wounds. They'd rather be like, oh, it's a mess. I'm grieving. My life's bad. Like, that's how they're coming through. But there's almost like a door open that they might be able to step back into life moving forward. But it's up to you if you were to allow them back. So it's quite heavy, your reading. And like I said, I'm not with you guys. I feel like you were drawn to pile 3. I'm not able to like fully embody the energy too much, because Spirit's like, let me just pass on the information instead. So it's just being downloaded into my brain. But there's a lot of watching you from afar. And I feel like this one particular ex that's linked to a parent in some sort of way, and it's the karmic wounds. There's a grievance through both energies that you have gone. You know that song, you only need the light when it's burning low. You only miss the sun when it starts to snow. You only know you love her when you let it go. So it could be someone that like maybe took you for granted in ways and never thought that you'd actually transform and move on, and you are. And they're aware of it. So it's like, oh my god, this person's actually gone now. I can feel this. They're even feeling your energy off them, and they're feeling it. So that's coming through really strong. And there's a strong message as well from Aphrodite to let you know that these feelings that are coming through, one, please honor them and feel them so they can pass through. Don't feel embarrassed, or don't bully yourself for feeling these emotions or embarrassed. Like, they're meant to come through. You're meant to pass through them. They're a lot deeper than you think, because they are connected to a parent. But she's also saying that like, you may be upset and then thinking, oh, well, this person wouldn't even care about me now, so I don't even know why I'm feeling upset. Whereas this person is mirroring the same wounds and grieving at the same time as you, because there's like an interconnectedness here. And same with the parent too. So she's saying for you to honor, you know, both emotions coming through. And I think it's funny that your particular reading, I wanted to film it yesterday when I filmed the other 3, and Spirit were like, no, you need to be in like a really fresh energy, so we're gonna wait for another day. And I was like, but I want to get it up Monday, and they were like, no, it'll go up Wednesday because you need to be fresh. And now I can see why they wanted me to be really fresh to read the energy. So let's pull some oracle cards. Pile number 4. Who is currently thinking about my pile 4s? Please, Spirit guides. we have hindrance. Fate has blocked this path for you. Oh my god, what was I saying about like there being red ropes, like no one's allowed in your energy right now because you're transforming, and like you sending out a call energetically to people like, don't try and come back right now, I need my own energy because I'm literally transforming and in a state of downloading. And we literally have that with the High Priestess. Fate has blocked this path for you, and she's got butterfly wings behind her because she's transforming, and the autumn leaves. Wow. See, I told you. I told you. Yeah, no, you're aligning with a higher version of yourself. You may have even gone through a phase, and it's not like a soul walking, but it's, how to explain it, like, okay, so when we incarnate on Earth, I feel like you're my spiritual pile for me to be going this deep and like heightened. When we incarnate on Earth, we project a level of our energies into the physical realm. Our whole higher self doesn't incarnate, only a level of energy that we project. And every time that we ascend or go through an awakening, we're actually peeling layers of our ego and our density to align with more of our higher self, if that makes sense. So more of our higher self can come through. So say now you would have projected into the physical like 40%. When we go through an awakening, you align with your higher self, so maybe 50% of your higher self can come through. That's just me giving you an analogy, right? So what can sometimes happen is a more an energy of you that, how do I explain this? Okay, so a part of your soul that may not be as developed yet, I hope this is making sense, would incarnate, and then what happens is you'll go through an ego death, and then a really strong evolved essence of your soul will then come through to carry on where you left off. And it can feel like a soul walking, or it can feel like the old version of you doesn't even relate to this new version of you because they're so different. Even though it's the same soul, it's at different points of the journey. I know it's really up and down, and it might not make sense, but that's what I'm being shown may have happened for you guys. Like, there's a level of your soul that resonated with certain souls that are with you now. You've allowed that ego death, or you've allowed that transmutation, so now there's like a higher energy here. So you're going to be connecting with souls that are as awake as you, and the people that from before, they may not register with you anymore. Does that make sense? So you're transmuting a lot of that out. There's something big happening that you're aligning with, pile 4. You may be from that pile that I always reference Egypt, and I'm like, I'm being shown Egypt because I just saw pyramids in my head. I'm just thinking of it, like I'm being shown Egypt, I'm being shown Atlantis, I'm being shown, you know, downloading and being really psychic. Like I'm being shown all of that now. So I think you're that pile that always comes through like that. Pile number 4, who is currently thinking of my pile number 4s? We have the Spider, be meticulous and patient. I feel like you're being asked to have patience, but I feel like this person, it's almost like an antsy feeling, like I would reach out, but I intuitively know not to right now. Because as well, I feel like this person's aware that what they would have to offer you right now is not what you would deserve, and they feel like you would know that. That's why we've got the 4 of Cups here. It's like they wouldn't want to know. We have the Wizard, use your skills to aid others. So you may be waking up to a higher level of your higher self so that you can use your wisdom and your access to your Akashic records, or access to spirit and these karmic memories from other past lives to help other people, because it's your life mission that's really like at the forefront for you right now. Pile number 4, who is currently thinking of my pile 4s? I hope I'm bringing some clarity if you've been feeling a bit confused as to what's going on. We have the Key, locked doors can now be opened. See, I feel like they're almost feeling like the doors, like I was saying about the house, and like I'm at the front door, I can't come in. I can't fully sit in your energy right now, and your spirit guides are just like at the door passing on information, and it's like even I can't come in. So they're just letting me know, but like this person's trying to get into the house the way that they used to, and the locks have been changed, if that makes sense. So it's like they can feel an energy shift. So it's like I can't, but I feel like there's going to come a point then when your energy's open, and that's when this person's going to reach out. But I do feel, like I said, I feel like this person may have some psychic abilities, because I feel like this person is aware that when they do step towards you, you would be out of the energy. Because this person's going to reach out to you, this ex, when you don't think of them at all. that's when they're going to reach out to you. We have water at the back of the deck. Emotions are at their peak. Yeah, you're definitely cleansing and releasing something that feels almost like a thorn in your heart chakra. It's just like a final splinter coming out so that you can release and let go of this particular person. What are the wounds though? Yeah, it's this feeling of why them and not me. Why her and not me? Why him and not me? Why would you leave me out in the cold? There's like a 5 of Pentacles energy coming through that you would have felt like, what, am I not worthy enough for this then? Or why, like, I have a very big heart and I want to love and you just left me in the wings. This person may have ghosted you. This person may have given you silent treatment. This person may have stepped towards somebody else that wasn't you. Because there's this feeling of like, and it feels like that with the parent, like abandonment wounds. That's what it is. It's abandonment wounds. You'll know who I'm talking about, the ex and the parent, I'm being told. Yeah. It could just be an ex and it could be a parent from a past life. But I do feel like it could be, I do feel like it's a parent from this life because I'm feeling grievance from them too. Pal 4, who is currently thinking of my pal number 4s? Who's currently thinking of my pal 4s? Radical acceptance. And we've got the green energy behind as well. And 1 and 5, you know, that's number 6 and that's the energy of Venus, which is Aphrodite. And we have the green chakra here, which is the heart chakra energy. We have 2 infinity symbols here, so you may be meeting a divine counterpart soon, and that's what's being prepped as well, or someone that's very in alignment with you, which will kind of get you to understand, okay, this is why those connections didn't work, because this was meant for me. I get it now. So you may have an aha moment there, but I feel like accepting the fact that certain people aren't coming with you, I think there's a grievance there which you're being called to honor right now. There's a strong message from Aphrodite to allow your emotions to pass through you like a lake. You know, like when a lake just flows, it's like feel it and allow it to pass. You don't have to identify with it, just feel it, allow that feeling for as long as it's there to be felt. Cry, say what you need to say. If you want to write an angry letter, write an angry letter. Obviously don't send it, but you know, write an angry letter, or just like shout into the air. I do that. I actually shout out loud. I just shout into thin air. I'm like, F you, like when I really want to get you know, those emotions out. And I'm being told for you guys to do whatever resonates for you. And what's funny is I was telling you guys to let your emotions flow, and we have flow at the back of the deck. And that's the guidance for you right now. But I'm being told that like you're super protected, you're being looked after, everything's going the way it's supposed to. I'm being told nothing's wrong. I'm being told very specifically to say you're not falling back. You may be thinking that you're falling backwards or that you're going back to old ways, and there's a strong message you're not. You're not. Just allow everything to flow right now is just the big message. So that's who I was thinking of you, pal number 4. I really hope that this resonated, and I hope it brought clarity as to why you're feeling certain emotions and what's been going on, and maybe why you haven't heard from certain people, or had like maybe apologies from certain people. I hope I've been able to give you clarity there. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if I did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.